This is the first of the 3 conceptual energy analysis challenges, and the challenge here is to find out for the day of the winter solstice which of the 3 shades, there's a simple, curved and an angled blade, which of those 3 shades leaves me with most energy on the day of the winter solstice on the surface that's the sloping surface on the conceptual house. Now to help with that, what you've got is you've got settings with views where you can preview the conditions there, let's say the summer solstice or the winter solstice. For any one of the alternatives that are presented, right? So I could be looking at the winter solstice with the curve, the angled blade, or the simple shade. But I want to analyze that surface and say which one of the shades leaves me with most energy on that surface. There are a couple of perspective views as well, so you can look at them in there. I want to find out how much solar radiation or insolation I'm getting on the surface here, and I need first of all to switch to the design option that lets me access the geometry that's part of the shade simple. When I've gotten to that point, I can go to the analysis and the solar radiation, and I want to make sure that this is set up for the single day winter solstice study. So I can switch this to set the analysis for winter solstice. I can then go and look at my report. My report is whichever one I want to choose here. I'm going to I'll use the markers with text. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to get cumulative values. And then go and select the actual surface. So if I click on here and then click again, I should get my legend with the values shown on here. And I can increase the accuracy by sliding that to the right. That just gives me more samples on that area, but I'm getting the highest value for a cell is 463 British thermal units per square foot. So for the whole surface, if I want to say export, I'll put this on the desktop and I'll call it Shade Simple. I should be able to switch to the curve panels. Oh, let me just go back here. I'm going to go to the Shade Simple. I'm going to make sure I delete this, and I'm unselecting that surface. Then I'm switching to, oops, it's unselected. Then I'm switching to curve panels, selecting the surface here. Okay, and I'm going to say export curve panels. Just to make sure I kind of keep this clean, I'm deleting the study and I'm unselecting that surface. And then I'm going to angled blade, selecting the surface there, and exporting angled blade. Okay, so I'll bring those into a spreadsheet so I can total them and see what the values are and which of those three options gives me most energy on the South surface. So here's the spreadsheet created in the way that you saw in an earlier movie, and you can see that the shade simple has the highest total for the energy on the surface that was analysed, followed by the curved panels and the angled blade. But just think of the potential here to do things like change the angle of the blade and run an analysis and get real data about what the consequences are. There are tools that let you measure insulation on the surface, but this is letting you measure insulation values on a surface and taking account of shading objects.